Coming up on today's show, an Eagles news and rumors mailbag. We asked you to ask us questions, and we provide the answers. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are inching closer and closer toward an awesome milestone here on Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports of 30,000 subscribers. So if you want free daily videos covering all things birds, just plug in that link at the bottom of your screen, youtube.com/EaglesNow. Hit that red subscribe button, smash that John, and let's start today's show. Fly, Eagles, fly. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. I'm going to answer all of your questions that you submitted on the community tab on our YouTube channel, and this is why you subscribe. We bring you the latest Eagles news, rumors, year-round coverage on free agency, as well as the NFL draft and interactive mailbags where we open up the floor for you to ask us anything. First question coming in from Philly Man. Did you see Todd McShay's 2023 mock draft for the Philadelphia Eagles? I did, and you know who really stands out? Bijan Robinson, but also Kelee Ringo out of Georgia. So 34 tackles last year in 2021, 2 interceptions and 8 pass breakups. But the big name is Bijan Robinson, the star and stud running back out of Texas. This guy is a stud. He can gash you through the air, very good on the ground game, both in between the tackles, but also has that elite speed to get out to the perimeter. His production before suffering a broken arm last year with the Longhorns was fabulous. 195 carries, 1,100 plus yards, 11 touchdowns, and a long of 62. He's an explosive threat who can impact the game on the ground and through the air, and in Nick Sirianni's offense, that dual threat nature to his game is certainly really, really valuable. And I have this team building philosophy where I would never want to really prioritize drafting a running back in the first round unless that dude is really, really special and unless it's really, really late. So if Bijan Robinson is available late in the draft, Todd McShay had a mock to the Birds at number 19, then I'd certainly think long and hard about it. What does this also mean? That if the Eagles were to target Robinson, it might spell the end for Miles Sanders, who's going into the final year of his rookie contract, something that we'll see play out and transpire here in 2022. A question for the audience. Let me ask you this. Give me your way too early 2023 first-round draft target. So who do you think are some of the premium draft targets that could be on the board for the Eagles' 2 first-round picks here in 2023? Drop me a name or names in the comment section. Next one coming in from Mr. Awesome Guy 222. Hey, Chase, we've been missing the Mott Man, but I love seeing a fellow Al killing it. My question is, what do you think the lowest Jalen Hurts' completion percentage, touchdowns, and interceptions has to be to keep the starting job next year? So, Mr. Awesome Guy, appreciate that question. Temple University, class of 2015, also grew up in Westchester. To see that you're a Temple Al is awesome. Bleed cherry and white till the day I die. Red and gold till we're dead and cold. So Jalen Hurts definitely has to get better as a passer, right? 61% completion percentage in 2021. I think those numbers are going to get a little bit better. Now, if you missed our video right here on the channel, I did 5 breakout candidates and their stat predictions and projections. Jalen Hurts is one of my breakout candidates, and I also projected his stats in 2022. I think he keeps the quarterback job, Mr. Awesome Guy, if he puts forward these numbers. Completion percentage going up about 4 percentage points to 65, which is still below league average, but the yards through the air increases to 4,000. He throws for 25 touchdowns and 10 picks. Last year, it was 16 touchdowns, but also you have to account for how he can impact games on the ground as well. He ran for 10 touchdowns last year, too. So while he only threw for 16 touchdowns through the air, 10 rushing touchdowns as well on 784 yards. It's pretty good production. I mean, that's 26 total touchdowns after being injured and missing some time there, paving the way for Gardner Minshew to come in, especially in the Meadowlands with that victory over the New York Jets. So if he puts forward those numbers, I think he's going to be the starter in 2023. Obviously, it also comes down to wins and losses, which I think is a very underrated quarterback stat. Do you like Jalen Hurts as the Eagles' future franchise quarterback? Your opportunity to really voice your opinions on Hurts. Y for yes or N for no. Once again, sound off in the comments. Let's pivot to this question. Slip not 2K Sean. Hey, Chase, nice job filling in for Mott. Appreciate that. I want to know, are us as Eagles fans overhyping this year? I don't know. I have a weird feeling in my gut, but I'm hopeful for a good year. We have made some great additions. Definitely an upgrade from last year. Look, I grew up in the Philadelphia area, right? I'm from Westchester, 484, 610, the 215. I'm familiar with it all, right? And we, as Philadelphians, always overreact to a certain degree. I mean, the Phillies made all those moves for Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber. They have Bryce Harper, JT Realmuto, Reese Hoskins, Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola. We're like, okay, the Phillies going into this year are going to be awesome. Then they have that 7-1 lead over the New York Mets in the ninth inning. They fall apart, and it was one of the worst Phillies losses that I've ever seen. The point here being, we're pegging the Phillies to be a playoff team because of the additions that they made to the roster, but we knew with the Phillies that they always come up short because the resume has shown that. Ever since 2011, they have the longest playoff drought in the National League going back to the last decade. With the Eagles, though, they don't have that long track record of lack of success like the Phillies do. The Eagles are one of the most well-run organizations. They have a great owner in Jeffrey Lurie. I think Howie Roseman has redeemed himself after a couple of down years after the Super Bowl. And I really like how they built this team. I also know this. There hasn't been a repeat winner in the NFC East since the Eagles were, running roughshod throughout the division in the early 2000s when Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb were making things happen with Brian Dawkins, Jeremiah Trotter, and the crew. No repeat division winner since 2004. So this division is wide open. I like the depth on this Eagles roster. I like the moves that they've made in free agency. Hassan Reddick, great value deal and a great pass rusher. Kaiser White, I think, is falling under the radar, led the Chargers in tackles last year. I think Jordan Davis, because of just his enormous size, is going to be able to impact games. And then A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders. It's a really, really good offense with a very good offensive line. So I don't think that the expectations are misguided. I think people should be excited about this football team, and I think they should compete for the NFC East. Pablo Domingo, do you think A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith duo is going to be good? Let's go Eagles. Yeah, I mean, some people rip me for saying that A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith could be the best wide receiver tandem in the history of the franchise. One commenter said, this guy clearly doesn't know that Chris Carter was playing back in the day with Mike Quick. Chris Carter wasn't even good as an Eagle. He was dealing with substance abuse issues. He was basically released by Buddy Ryan because of those issues. He wasn't great until he went to the Minnesota Vikings. So that's not a great pairing. Then you move forward to recent history. Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson. I'll take A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. Terrell Owens and Todd Pinkston. T.O. is probably better than A.J. Brown, and he's a Hall of Famer. But Todd Pinkston, he ain't better than A.J. or DeVonta Smith. So I think this wide receiver duo has the ability to be one of the best in the league, and I think both guys can be number one wide receivers on some teams out there in the National Football League. Make sure you subscribe once more to Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports as we approach and get very, very quick to 30,000 subscribers. Videos every single day, news, rumors, mailbags, draft coverage, free agency coverage. We're doing it all. Hit that red subscribe button down below. Turn on those notifications. And yes, because I hail from the Philly area, I can say, smash that, John. We move forward in this mailbag with this question coming in from Reginald Lawrence. You're doing a great job, Chase. Keep it up. Do you think we have a good enough team to win the division? Thank you, Reginald. I greatly appreciate that. And look, I think I do a pretty solid job. I am not the Mott man. Mott does a great job. A lot of you also like to rip the look of my eyes. I can't help it. But hey, it's America, freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want in the comments, and I can certainly take the heat. Yes, I kind of answered that question previously, right? Eagles are good enough to win this division. The Cowboys are fraudulent. They're soft. They're mentally fickle. They fall apart in the playoffs every year. They haven't made an NFC championship game in 25 years. That's a quarter century. And I think they actually got worse this offseason. They traded away Amari Cooper for late-round picks. They lost some really good players, Lyle Collins, as well as Randy Gregory. They didn't make a lot of great upgrades throughout this offseason, and I actually think they got worse as a football team. And I think Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback when he has a good complementary cast, but I think the complementary cast has gotten worse, and I think Ezekiel Elliott is somewhat washed. I think he's going to play the final year of his Cowboys career here in 2022. So the avenue is there for the Eagles to take a stranglehold of this division and certainly win the NFC East once again. Now, if you want to be involved in our future mailbags, a couple ways for you to do that. Use hashtag Eagles to be featured, and you must be subscribed to the channel. Philadelphia, appreciate all of you for rocking and rolling with us, watching today's mailbag. Don't forget to subscribe.